So we went on a date, and that didn't go so well. And then I was like, let's just be friends. Let's be friends. I'll help you with the people you date. You can help me with the people I'm dating. Let's just be cool. We was cool for about 2 years. And he went out of town. Guess where he went? Seattle. He went out of town to Seattle. He was like, I'm just going to get myself together and I ain't going to worry about none of these females. He wasn't even on the plane before he called from the airport. I was just calling to see what you was doing. I was like, yo, I thought you was going out of town. Anyway, hanging out as friends. When he was gone to Seattle, I was turning 40. And I went to Chicago to hang out with my girls. That's what you do when you're single and you're 40. And I was talking about him like the whole time. And my girl was like, I think you like him. I was like, no, I don't. You think so? Fast forward, when I got back, we started dating. A year, because by then I can't date no long time. You can date a long time. As a matter of fact, you should. If you're 40 and you find yourself unmarried, you're going to have to speed up the process. So I gave him all these unrealistic expectations. I was like, if you ask me to marry me, you got to do this kind of ring, it's got to be this kind. I was pulling out stuff I thought was impossible for him to achieve. Something else I learned from my high school coach, all you know is about how you feel. You don't know about nobody else. He was like, that's okay. I'm going to ask you in the next 6 months. I was like, all right. In the next 7 months, I don't have it on today, but he showed up with this. It was a stunner. It was a stunner. So much so I don't even wear it every day. It's a distraction. So he asked me to marry him. Guess where?
Seattle.
That would have been cute. At the elementary school. He asked me to marry him at the elementary school where I met him. I will paraphrase. I should have brought the video, but I didn't know I was going to talk about that. So he says to me, in 1983, I think it was, we stood in this same spot, and I was afraid to kiss you. He was like, but I'm not afraid anymore. He got the ring out. But then my crazy self said, you ain't get on one knee. I know. So I will say, be very careful how you meet and how you treat the people that you meet in the 5th grade. You might end up marrying him. What makes my husband so awesome, what makes him just the best guy ever for me, is that he's straight up on my team. So when I have to travel, or I'm speaking out of town, or we're doing something out of the country, if he can, he is right there. As a matter of fact, that television show I was shooting, this is why I really married him. One time doing production, I ran out of money. And we was just friends, and he was like, how much you short? I was like, man, about a stack. He was like, call me when you get out of church. I ain't call him. He called me. He was like, I thought you was going to call me when you got out of church. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this stack. He came to my house and gave me a check for that stack. And I was just his friend. And so that was the first time somebody had ever supported my dream at that level. So I married him. Why do I tell you all that? I told you all of these things because you have to get up to present yourself in 60 seconds. I gave you today about 6 different facets of my life. All that I hope were at least interesting enough that if I only had 1 minute to talk about them, people would gain some insight. So the best advice that I could give you when you're up to present about who you are, tell the truth. The whole truth. Nothing but the truth. Be genuine to your audience and be audience-centered. If people look like they've fallen asleep in 60 seconds, you are doing a terrible job. So you got to make sure that you're telling an honest, truthful story that people can connect with you. So you want to give them something to connect with. And I found that being honest about your stories is the best way to do that. I was at church yesterday, and I sat next to a young lady, and she says to me that she's related to somebody else I knew at the church. I was like, oh, I never met you, blah, blah, blah. But we talked maybe 5 minutes, and in that time, she was able to tell me that she was a cutter, because I asked about the tattoo she had. She said, I got these to remind me because I used to be a cutter, and then she flipped over her arms, and I saw all the places that had healed that she had cut. And she talked about her lifestyle choices and the different things that she had been through. In just that short amount of time, I will probably remember her forever because she was so honest about who she was and what she had gone through. And it was so inspiring, as much as I have an opportunity to speak, to hear her talk about that level of honesty and what young people go through, because she's only 19. And I asked her, I said, well, can you tell me why you were a cutter, if you can tell me? Now, we're in church. I don't know what the pastor's talking about no more, because I'm talking to her. And she said, I used to cut myself because I did not believe that I was pretty enough, that I was good enough. She was absolutely beautiful. And so it was such an insightful conversation. She probably, if we had time, could have spoken for hours about who she was and what she had gone through. I have such a high level of respect for her for being able to share that level of honesty. And I asked her, when I'm out, can I tell your story? She was like, sure. Why? I was like, because other people don't know that other folks go through the same things. So that's why, as a speaker, it's so important for you to tell the truth, because you don't know who in the audience is going through something very similar and just needed to hear you got out. Any questions? Oh, I started with a quote. I guess I should end with one. So I'll end with, we the willing, led by the Almighty, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much for so long with so little. We are now qualified to do anything with nothing. Make sure you get up and be somebody. Yes, sir. You had a question? Yes.